everybody. Welcome back to Comic Book Theater. Jay and Justin are here.
How's it going, everybody?
We're going to talk a little Star Trek with Talking Trek. So, Justin, you want to introduce your channel and everything like that?
Hey, everybody. Justin. Of course, you can see here at Exile State Comics is the channel.
Yes.
Content needs to go up. I know, but there's stuff there, so
that's how it is. I'm dealing with that too. You know, because real life gets in the way of YouTubing, and it's a thing.
it's a weather thing. I had a cold last couple weeks, so I think it's kind of hitting us all.
Yeah, I had that a couple weeks ago. I totally understand that. Laid me up in the hospital. I was so sick.
That's rough. That's rough. You get some good fluids then.
Oh yeah, I got a week off from work. That was good.
Hey, even better.
I was sick, but I had a week off at work. Yeah, let's get into this. We're gonna talk some New York Comic Con news. We're gonna talk about the first two short treks of the year, and some other news that came out since New York Comic Con, because it's been a little while. But there's been some little things that have come out after that. So let's get right into it, and we're gonna start with some news about the Lower Decks. And for all you to know, this is Lower Decks. Lower Decks is the one that's coming to CBS All Access. This is not the one that's coming to Nickelodeon. We still don't know the name of that one, which I think we should be getting a name right now. But Nickelodeon is going to be airing another one. This is the one that's going to be airing on CBS All Access. This is the one that's going to be taking place in Prime Canon. It's going to be taking place right after Star Trek Nemesis. That was the last one.
I believe that's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just a couple years after
sure that Nemesis. I was just making sure that Nemesis was the last one.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's going to be like a comedy thing, but it's going to really respect canon, and we're going to be getting some short treks into that. We'll talk about them when we get down to the short treks. But yeah, they just said that they weren't really. They thought the animated stuff would be the easier thing to do, and it was the harder thing to do. So there's a lot of work in, especially to
make it look good.
People handling. Yeah, you have so many people handling it. Then you got to do ADR. You have to do all that other stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into making an animated series that doesn't go into making, I think like with a regular series, there's less people that have to touch it. Where animation, you have to have, so many animators, so many of this, so many of that, and they all have to work together, and it's a lot more work overall. But so we'll be getting that soon. They just never gave us a date yet. I hope it's I think that's going to probably be between Discovery and Picard. It'll be like the buffer, maybe. You have Picard in the
when it comes out.
Yeah. I think Picard is going to be like the first 3 months. Then they're going to do Lower Decks for like in the middle 3 months, and then the last 3 months they'll do Discovery. And I think there will be like a 2-week gap in between each one, like a month gap in between each one or something like that. So I think like you'll get a little bit of time difference, like a month and a half on each side between them, and then you'll have like that. That's how I'm just picturing in my head. This way it won't be too much time without Trek on CBS All Access. They can have that, and But yeah, I'm excited for Lower Decks. How about you?
Yeah, I think it'll be yes, because it's confirmed Prime Canon, and it's something beyond anything we've seen before. Well, I mean, we'll already have Picard at that point, but still, like it'll answer questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like let us know little tidbits about what happened after that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I like that basically everything now is beyond anything that we know, because we got this is 2370, 2390. Then we got Discovery season 3, which is in the 930
In
years
the
after
future.
season 2.
Yeah.
And then we got Picard, which is I think
A
it's
few years after
twenty
Lower
three
Decks,
ninety
right?
nine.
Yeah.
23.99 it's
Or
supposed to be. So
something.
we have so we have a lot of future stuff coming up in the future. But talk about the future. Let's go into Star Trek Discovery because we did get more of that. Again, I said, we know it takes place 930 years in the future. They did not land on Terra Elysium, which is that planet that we saw in season 2.
Wait, you mean something went wrong?
Oh yeah, it looks like from the trailer, Michael Burnham got separated from the Discovery crew,
Good,
so she was
good.
looking for them, and apparently the Federation no longer exists in that future. Because no no one seems to be in the Federation anymore, and
Or
they
have they been thrown into a different galaxy?
far, far away.
I'm just saying. Like, who
It
knows?
could
Who
be.
knows where that spit them out?
That would be weird if it was a different galaxy.
Hmm.
But we also got the new guy, David Ejaya, who's playing Book. He's gonna play Cleveland Booker, and he's gonna be the rule breaker. And I think this is gonna be rebuilding the Federation after the Federation doesn't exist. And this is also takes place before the temporal accords came into effect. So um, before the what was the time bureau? Yeah, the time bureau before that ever existed. So
Hmm.
this is before the Doctor's mobile emitter came into play from Star
So
Trek Voyager.
they have to fix this
Yeah.
by the end of the season and go back, or the future we know will never happen.
But no, I think they're gonna stay there because they said that they're staying in the future. So I think what happens is they went to the future to fix the future so it could be there. So they're going to be what fixes the Federation and gets it back.
Right.
So Michael Burnham is going to be the savior of the Federation, which is
No,
going to piss off a whole bunch of people.
no, it needs to be Pike. He's the most
I,
likable character.
I, dude, everybody at every con that they go to, it is asked, is there going to be a Pike series? Is there going to be a Pike series? But is there anything? I do want to say before we get into Pike and all that, I do want to say something else about this trailer. Uh, did you see that we have Andorians they're going to be using, which is really cool.
Oh, okay. Well, that pretty much sums it up. It is not in a different universe.
Yeah, they got Cardassians, and Morn's race from
Oh
from
yeah, yeah.
DS9.
I did see those.
Morn's
Yeah.
race is in there. They got one of him, who I don't know. Every time I see Morn, I think of what's the dude from the Walrus guy from
Oh yeah.
Thundercats. I always think of the Thundercats Walrus guy. I can't think of his name. It was like on Third Earth.
One of
I
the
can't
bad
think.
guys. The walrus guy.
No, he was like he helped them. He was an ally to them. Let me see what his name was.
I
'Cause
don't
I
remember.
can't I want to say Waro, but I don't think that's
That
it.
that would make a lot of sense and probably be right for that show.
It probably would be right.
Which I almost bought like the complete edition or whatever I saw the other day somewhere for like 60 or 70 bucks. I was like, do I want it? I do want it. Do I want it for 60 or 70 bucks? Maybe not today.
Yeah, I have them. I have the DVDs of them. I love them. Thundercats. I wonder what
Mm,
streaming service they're going to be on because there's so many streaming services coming out. They got to land somewhere. You know,
yeah.
who owns Cartoon Network? Does Warner Brothers own that?
Yeah.
Then probably it will probably be on the HBO Max one. Um, it's
Maybe.
Tuska.
Tuska. Go home,
Yeah,
make
they're,
a Tuska. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Termagar,
he was the
Termagar the
guy up in the
Tusker.
snow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Termagar the
And the
Tuska.
cat. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
remember now.
I just every time I see Morn, I think of him Like I'm like, if they ever did a
See
Thundercats
that?
live action show, they should use the Morn costume and just put Tusk on them. But yeah. So we got some, Federation aliens here that we know other than Klingons, and these people actually look like they're in canon. So like the Andorians look like Andorians, Morn's race looks like it's Morn's race. I forget what the name of his race is. And the Trills, we saw Trills, they look like the Trills. It'd be really cool if Dax is
There's a
there.
Dax.
Yeah, dude, there has to be a Dax.
I am
We need a
Dax, and
Dax
I've lived over 1,200 years at that point. Jeez.
Yeah, there would have to be. Let's see, we're on his what, 8th or 9th life by the time DS9 ended. I think it was the 9th. I think Ezra was the 9th, and he would
He
have
was
to be
already
on
like 300 years old.
yeah. So he would have to have like 27 lives by now. Like
Yeah.
it would be really cool to see like his ancestry. Like I would really hope that if they're going to do a Trill, you had to have Dax there. You had to have the most famous Trill of all. But yeah, anything else you want to point out from that trailer that stood out to you?
No, I mean it looks like they're just going to be, kind of giving us a shock at the beginning. So
Yeah.
we'll see where it really ends up. Plus, remembering the short trek from last year,
Yeah.
where the ship was 1,000 years in the future. So from the point at which they are, not very far, right?
I think it's 2,000 years in the
Was it
future.
2,000 years? Okay.
Well, they said the ship was there for 1,000 years. So I think the ship said that they were there for 1,000 years. So I think wherever wherever Discovery leaves off, it's going to be 1,000 years after that, because Discovery is going to like
We don't know
drift off.
if it's going to end up. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to like go into some kind of nebula and just leave the ship there. They're going to just leave the Discovery there instead of like scrapping it or recycling it or
Just hide
refitting it.
hide it forever.
Yeah, they're going to hide it in a nebula, which is kind of cruel to a sentient computer. But yeah, that's what they're going to do essentially, because the ship said I've been here for 1,000 years. So that's since we know we're going to be 930 years in the future, I would say at least almost 2,000 years that episode took place.
Unless they make it back.
Maybe. I mean, we
And then
never
they
know.
park it in a nebula when they make it back because they're like, all right, this thing's too crazy.
That would be acceptable. And then it would be like 70 years in the future. Like he was, it would be like 70 years in the future, because there had to be some time difference. But yeah, we definitely need
It
to
would
see
still
that
be
guy.
like, it would, even if they went back in time and hit it then, like where they were, like to where they're supposed to be, just so that everybody gets back to their lives at some point. Like then it would still be sitting out there
70
after the
years at
Time
least.
War.
Yeah.
So it would still be like 700 years.
Yeah. So it will have to last for a while. Which, has no maintenance. Like you see like
Yeah, I mean,
Voyager and
brings its own self, yeah. Self-cleaning,
Enterprise and Voyager,
self-sustaining.
no one. What was the episode? Voyager. They had to go through like the expanse. They had to go through that place where they had to put the whole. It was one. Was it one? Yeah, it was called One. I think it was episode 1 where Seven was all by herself on the ship. She was running the ship,
Oh yeah.
constantly maintaining it, because the ship needs to be maintained or it will fall apart.
And everybody else had to be passed out because of some radiation or something.
Yeah, it would be radiation. And she's going around fixing the ship. But here, this ship is built way better, I guess, because it can last for 1,000 years. Come wake up and still be running perfectly to help this guy. It rescues the guy, dresses the guy, feeds the guy. Everything is perfectly fine. But
they had
it's
some
Discovery.
pretty far advanced stuff,
Oh yeah, they did. They were a better ship. I mean, they did have technology that no other 24th century ship had, and they were in the 23rd century. So
Well, that we know of. But apparently, if you're like a top secret, super uh, scientific ship, you have all the fun toys that the
oh yeah, a
flagships
black
don't
ops
get.
ship.
Yeah.
And those black badges went away really quick. I mean, like the
Oh, the
black
section.
alerts went away really quick.
But
No,
wasn't
because
that just when they were doing the spore drive jump?
yeah, but also remember they did have black badges on. Because I remember that first episode, Star Trek for Discovery, they had the black badges. People on the ship had black badges. Because I remember when we did the first talking track, we talked, or a second one, we talked about that,
Mm.
about the black badges, and now I don't like the only way now they became a Section
Section
31
31.
thing. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm going to go back and watch those first episodes of Star Trek. That first episode of Discovery, because I'm pretty sure they had black badges on there. So I remember we commented on that. All right. So you're done. Anything else you want to say about Discovery? Except for
Nope,
Burnham's going to be the savior of the Federation.
she is.
I mean, I know they're going to piss off so many Star Trek fans with that, but you know it's coming.
She's our
From
only
that
hope.
trailer, she's going to be it.
She's our only hope. She's actually John Wick Picard's mom too.
She started the Picard line.
Right.
She's
She
going to go back in time and start the line that's going to lead to Picard. She also donated a heart to Picard, so if it wasn't for Michael Burnham, Picard would be dead.
No, that's true. She also, when Kirk was a young child, she gave him a blood transfusion. So
Yes,
she saved his life, and that was why Kirk was so awesome because he was infused with burning blood.
and she literally did in canon. She gave Spock his logic. She's the reason why Spock is logical. Because Spock had the
Uh huh.
disability.
Right.
Oh,
One
all right.
character. One character to rule them all.
Oh yeah. All right. Before we get into the short tracks, I did want to say there's some stuff going on with CBS. They're making a studio in Canada, so
Oh
they're going to have
yeah.
a studio to film in Canada. That's just for like Star Trek stuff. I don't know if it's for all CBS stuff or if it's just for the Trek stuff, but I think it's for all CBS stuff. And they also said that there is going to be a space for Star Trek. But what show could it be? Because Picard, I don't think is filming there because they're already done filming. Discovery, I don't think it's going to be filming there because they're filming right now. So could it be a Pike series?
It's quite possible. That would be awesome.
I mean, I hope it is. But yeah, I did that to lead into the next thing, the short tracks. Because the first three short tracks, we got the first two, and the third one's about to come out next month. They come out the second Thursday of every month from now until January. But did you watch the first two?
I have not yet, but feel free
Okay.
to spoil or describe as much as you want.
They might piss some. They pissed a lot of people off.
Oh, oh
Q and
great.
A was kind of okay. It was very comedy like. Um, Basically, number one and um, Ensign Spock are trapped in an elevator, a turbo lift, and during that time, he asks her a bunch of questions because she tells him that like that's his job to ask a bunch of questions, and she basically tells him you gotta hide your freak, which to him is having some emotions. So she tells him hide your freak, and her freak is she can sing. That's
Weird.
freaky. I thought that was weird just because Star Trek is supposed to be embrace your freak, embrace your differences, but they were like no. And then the trouble with Edward, the second one, is the Tribble episode. that kind of gave us an origin of the Tribbles.
Dun, dun, dun.
They were a slow breeding race of little fur balls who, when you shave them, have a lot of meat. A planet near the Klingon space was going hungry. So this scientist on I forget the name of the ship, but one of the science officers from Pike's Enterprise, was promoted to captain to try to of a science ship to go figure out what to do about this planet who's like going through a famine right now. And this guy figured, well, we can introduce tribbles to their culture. They'll make great food substance, as long as you shave them. There's a lot of meat under there. He's like, they taste pretty good. So he's like saying he ate a tribble, and we find out that the reason why they produce so fast is because this guy who's like kind of the worst Starfleet. Like, I don't know how he got into Starfleet, let alone assigned to a ship. He's just that much of like he makes Barclay seem very competent. Like,
Wow.
Barclay is Geordi and Balana compared to this guy. Like, he is just
So they had lower standards.
Yeah, he's just like 2 steps from there. That's just where he's at. But anyway, he's supposed to be like this brilliant geneticist, and he decided to add his DNA to the tribble, which is why tribbles can reproduce really, really fast and asexually. They are born pregnant. And the tribbles just take over the ship and like literally like take over the ship. The ship is just filled with tribbles, and they had to evacuate the ship.
Couldn't they just
And
beam
then
them into space?
they couldn't. They were reproducing so fast that they broke the transporters.
Oh, okay.
And they crash on the planet. They get introduced into Klingon space, and that's why they are in Klingon space. So thanks to this one guy, this has all happened. So
Nice.
a lot of people don't like the origin of the tribbles. Like, that's like really touchy. I thought it was just a silly, stupid episode. I didn't really, get mad about it. I thought it was a stupid episode. Like, both of these were very comical. Neither one of them were really like last year. I think we got more serious ones. These two were
Yeah.
very comical.
Well, I'm sure the very last one is going to be pretty serious.
I think the last one should have Pike, like a solo Pike thing.
Yeah, I was just meaning the Children of Mars, which is the last short track.
Oh yeah. That's
The
definitely
next
gonna be
one,
serious.
Yeah, I would say the next one is the astronaut, like you were leading into. I think
Yeah.
that should definitely be a Pike.
Yeah, I think that would be a Pike one, and then we're gonna have the girl who made this, and that's on November 14th. The astronaut, the girl who made the stars, and Ephraim and Dot are December 12th. Those are the animated ones. So those are the ones. Those and the Children of Mars, which is the Picard one, are the ones I'm most looking forward to, because then we're gonna get to see what those shows are about. That's when
Crazy, we're getting both of those on the 12th.
Yeah, we're getting both the animated ones on the 12th.
Yeah.
December 12th. They're both going to be released on December 12th.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see those, because that's going to be our first look at that animated series. And then Children of Mars is going to lead into the Picard series. So I'm excited for that one too. Which I think Children of Mars is the Romulans. I think they're going to be living on Mars. Which I think there is supposed to be like a Mars colony.
Why would they be living there?
Because
wait.
Romulus exploded.
Yeah, that's right.
2009's movie, the very beginning, started out on prime timeline. They exploded, and then so I don't know how much of whatever's going to be in canon, because we don't know yet. But I know they did talk to Star Trek Online about their timeline. So this way, they're going to try to make it as much sensible as you can with everything. So people who have been playing Star Trek Online for the last decade are not going to be really pissed off.
Crazy. That's crazy that they would even let them move to Mars. Like, go to Vulcan. Go back to your home.
The Vulcans don't want anything to do with the Romulans.
Yeah, they could live somewhere closer to that. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird that we would like the Federation would be like, no, seriously, you can live right next door to our
Yeah,
base.
yeah. I think that's where probably Picard left over because like maybe they didn't want to, and Picard just like dumped them there. Picard was like, they're going there. I don't care. I can see Picard doing that. Like the Federation not wanting to grant them asylum anywhere, and then Picard just being like, you know what, screw you. I'm transporting them all down there. You want to kick them off? Go do it. I
Yeah.
dare you.
I don't know.
I think he probably did do it because he in the trailer for, and we're going to talk about the trailer now for Picard, which premieres January 23rd on All Access. They didn't give a time. With Discovery, it was always like 8 o'clock at night, and it was like even the short treks were always like 8 o'clock at night. But the short treks this time, the first two came up early in the daytime, so I don't know if they're going to do nighttime anymore or they're going to see like like 9 a.m. in the morning you can watch Star Trek Picard. I don't know. I hope they do that. They do keep it at night. It makes it more of an event, to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at work, so I don't really want to be at work when I watch Star Trek Picard.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so Picard. Did you see the second trailer for that? The New York Comic Con trailer?
Yeah.
That
That's
trailer
crazy.
was insane. Yeah. What did you think of the trailer and anything that you wanted to pull out of that trailer that you want to talk about?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean it just all looked good. It built off everything that we saw in the first one. I don't know. I wish it was already here. Like we're only like what 2 months, 2.5 months away from the premiere. It needs to hurry.
Yeah, I can't. And it's gonna go by so fast because like the year's been going by so fast right now.
Oh
So,
yeah.
but watch that. Like when we get to January, it's gonna like crawl because it's not
I
gonna
know.
want to give us that.
We'll get to the
But
9th, and then it'll
yeah.
crawl even further to get to the actual show itself.
Oh yeah. We did see that John, Riker and Troy, they have a daughter apparently because a young girl screamed out, "Dad!" Jean-Luc Picard's here or Picard's here or something like that. So, Riker and Troy are no longer in Starfleet, like, or are they on vacation or something? Like,
I don't know.
I never thought like they
It
would
looked
retire.
it looked like they were out.
Yeah, I think they just quit Starfleet, but that
Hmm.
sucks because we never got to see Riker on the Titan.
Yeah.
Like we literally never got to see that, and that sucks. I think, unless he goes back into active duty, that would be cool.
Or maybe they were on a holodeck on the Titan.
That would be funny. Um, or no, what would be better is um, Picard. Well, when we get to the finale of Picard, like the very last season, Picard and everything like that, it's actually going to be Michael Burnham watching a hologram of it on a holodeck in 930 years from now.
Right. While she talks to the cook.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. A little bit of the Enterprise payback for the Star Trek Next Generation cast. Anybody who doesn't know that, it's the whole what happened with Star Trek Enterprise's finale. But yeah, and there was I was telling you this before the show. There was a call sheet that had listed or casting something like that listed a young actress by the name of Kestra. Her character's name is Kestra. So I think that's gonna be her daughter's name, which is named after Troy's sister who died as a child.
Maybe.
And now this is another thing that I saw in the trailer that I posted on Twitter, and a couple of the actors got into it. Seven and Nine at one point is holding somebody in her arms. A guy with dark hair and had a red shirt. Like, could it be Chakotay? Could it be Hugh? Could it be Ichep? Like, who is she holding in her arms? Because she seemed really upset that the person was like, you know, it looked dead. Like they looked dead in her arms.
Hmm.
So
It looked like
who?
to me looking at it, I thought it was the guy that played Hugh, because
I was
they showed like his hair looked the same as then an interview where they then shot to him
yeah.
talking about something. I was like, wait a minute.
See, when I first saw it, I did not really pay attention. Like that was just like the first thing that came out my head, and then I took like the trailer and I went frame by frame and I saw what Hugh looks like in Star Trek Picard. He has
Hmm.
like very much most of his Borg implants are removed. Like he has,
Right, he looks humanish.
yeah, he has about the same amount as Seven has.
Right.
About that much on him. But Hugh's also wearing a black shirt in every scene that we saw him in. You know, so I was like
Something
Icheb
that happens
maybe,
before, yeah.
because
Or
Icheb is
like you
also a
said,
Borg.
right. But
Icheb
like
is a
also,
Borg.
it could have been maybe it was Chakotay, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Chakotay was the least likely. I would say it would be either Hugh or Icheb, because I can see Icheb because Icheb is a Borg and Seven basically was his mother. So if he does die, that would impact her greatly.
Hmm.
And again, he is Borg, so this is something that has to do with Borg and Borg versus humans and all. I can definitely see Icheb playing a role in there, especially because we haven't heard that Icheb is going to be on there. Um,
Right.
but yeah, we also got to see Daj running with Picard and Hugh. They're like running down a hallway or something like that.
Hmm.
Uh, so I think what's going to happen, she's going to come to Picard, try to get help from Starfleet. Then she's going to be locked up in that Borg prison ship, that Borg prison cube that the Tal Shiar has.
Yeah.
And I think Picard is going to go rescue her, and that's how it's all going to play out.
Maybe so. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's just my theory on how I think they're going to go with it. I think he's going to go rescue her because whoever she is, she's very important to everything. She's the Michael Burnham of this era.
Hmm.
She's very important.
Well, and did they definitively say that she's his daughter?
No,
Well,
they just
yeah.
said she's a mysterious woman, and whoever she is, she Picard has a feeling about her. So, like, there's the theory that she's his daughter. There's a theory that she's someone else's daughter that he knows. There's
Hmm.
also the theory that she's the new Borg queen, or she's a hybrid Borg. Or another theory I've heard was that she could be some kind of they Noonien Soong
Yeah,
um
that's what I was
android.
wondering if she was like realistically like she was Data's second daughter. Like remember he
That's
had
what
his
I was
first
thinking
daughter,
too.
and
I was thinking it
this
could be
was one that he
Data's
was
daughter.
working on right before
Hmm.
or something.
Yeah, maybe she's Data's daughter, like because we know he had Law, and that didn't end well.
No.
And she kind of has that Law look too.
Hmm. That would be a cool spin if that's what it was.
And there's also those other androids that we saw. They were like all in, like they all looked the same, and they had like the F8 or F3
Hmm.
tattooed on their foreheads. So that something's going on with that. Um, I know. I think in Star Trek Online, which again they can't use because Data is in Star Trek Online, so they're not going to follow that. But there was a whole thing about the androids being they were being exploited like that. They were being exploited, and Data led like a rebellion of them or something like that. He liberated them.
But we know in the future that they use like holograms of the Doctor to clean out waste and things like that.
Yeah. I just got done watching the last night I watched the episode of Star Trek Voyager where the Doctor wrote the novel, the Hollow novel.
Oh gosh,
and then we saw them in the waste disposal.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm near the end of season 7 now of Voyager.
Yep.
I'm trying to take my time with this so I can get to Star Trek Next Generation right before Picard. Like I'll be done watching Star Trek Next Generation right with Picard.
Yeah. Well, he got 7 seasons worth of that, man.
Well, I normally go through Enterprise, TOS, and the animated series pretty quickly. For some reason, those go really quickly, and then TNG I kind of stall on the first 2 seasons because they're bad.
Yeah,
like,
it takes a little while for it to get going.
Yeah, and then once season 3 kicks in, I'm like I breeze through those so fast.
Yeah. Cool.
But that's about it from Picard, unless you have anything that you wanted to point out from it.
No, not really. Like I said, same as you, just really excited for it, to finally see something past Nemesis, past Voyager, something cool like that,
Yeah, I hope we see something, and I hope we get more surprises. Like I hope that
I hope they mention and Cisco came back.
Yeah,
they don't ever have to show him, but just say that he came back.
Yeah,
from
mention something. The emissary. Like they could say bait. Like Picard could be like, we do interfere. We Cisco became the emissary of the Bajorans, and he's there right now leading the Bajorans people on Bajor. Like something, or even if like Discovery says that something about the emissary, someone has to mention the emissary somewhere, because he is a big part of like people love Cisco and they love DS9.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of DS9, Nog passed away. So
right.
Of a heart attack, I believe it was, at like age 50. So
something like that. I mean, he's had like kidney issues and other
Yeah.
things like that. So
it's really it's kind of dark, but what was the name of that what you leave behind, the documentary of DS9?
Oh yeah, the DS9, yeah.
And they had a little like animation type thing of what would happen with
what happened after.
Yeah, theoretical season 8 that takes place 20 years after Star Trek DS9, and in that Nog dies. Captain Nog dies in the beginning of that. So it was like weird, like that. It was shortly after that premiered that Nog passed away.
Yeah.
Aaron Eisenberg passed away like in real life. So that was kind of like weird. Like I wouldn't want them to write anything about any of the other characters dying. Like don't be like, if I was a DS9 character, I'd be like, look, don't write anything about my character dying, because I don't want to
use a different pen or something. Jeez,
yeah,
weirdo.
Something. But yeah.
So I mean, it is shaping up to where we're gonna have like a full year worth of Star Trek.
Hopefully. And then we still got Sex 31s being kicked around, but they can't do anything because she at least has to come back, because she's supposed to lead the Section 31 crew. So she has to come back, Giorgio. She's 930 years in the future with Discovery. So they're going to do Section 31 with Giorgio. She has to come back.
Right.
Unless they use the real Giorgio and they say she was alive all this time. Or a clone or something like that.
They would.
The Sex 31, you never know. they're sneaky like that. Which according to DS9's DS9 theoretical season 8, Bashir is supposed to be the head of Section 31 in the future, in 20 years from the end. So like around Picard's time, Bashir is supposed to be the head of Section 31.
That'd be cool to see him.
It would just be weird to see him as the head of Section 31. But yeah, it would be like there's a lot of stuff in the possible Pike series coming out.
But would he be married to Ezri?
That would be interesting.
Right?
Julian and Ezra, if they'll be married. That would be an interesting thing to see. And how long does she had the Dax symbiote? You know, that would be another.
She was young, so yeah, she could have it for a while.
Yeah, she could. She was chill, so I don't know how long they live. They don't live like extremely long. You know, they're not Vulcans, but I think they live.
Sure, they live as long as we do.
Yeah, I think they live about as long as we do. So.
Or until they get killed.
She could have it for at least another 60 years or so.
As long as she didn't run into any pod wraiths.
Exactly. All right, so I think that's about it. Anything else that you wanted to talk about Star Trek related?
No, not that I can think of. Yeah. Just thanks for everybody watching, and thanks for having me on. Good times talking about Star Trek as always.
What's coming up with your channel and all, Justin?
Well, my channel's got some stuff coming up, but over on Strictly Comics, we're gearing up for auctions in November, and then in December we're having our charity auction, which is going to benefit the Heroes Initiative for the second time. Last year was a huge success, and we were able to give like close to 10 grand to the Heroes Initiative. So
yeah,
I'm going to try to do the same thing this year.
I saw your first part. I didn't get to watch the second part because it came on when I was out today. But the first part I saw, was it like a week ago or something like that?
Yeah.
Where you guys said it was like $9,000 and something. It was like I think it was like $9,050, $9,500, something like that. It was a lot of money.
It was total, like the total donations were over 10,000. Like just over it or something like that. But then the super chats that people were giving in, a lot of that, like I think YouTube takes, or Google or whoever takes 30% of that. So we ended up adding a little bit of money to get it to like even at 9,500, so that we could give them like, you know, a solid number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to know more about that, go over check out Strictly Comics on YouTube. And like I said, they did 2 videos on it already. Some good books are coming out in that auction. Go check it out, and it's a great benefit. It's a great charity for it. So.
Yep. If you're not aware, real quick, Heroes Initiative, charity that helps out creators that we've all loved, who need like help with health related bills and things like that. So
yeah,
just a good thing. Because you never know. Like I know Michael Turner was taking advantage of it while he was sick before he passed. So
yeah, it helps a lot of writers who don't, because there is no like writers don't have. It's not like Hollywood where an actor,
artists, everybody like they're just contractors. They're not actually employees.
Yeah, it's not like Hollywood where an actor gets paid like $90 million for a movie. They get paid very little for the work that they do, and they don't have like, when you retire, you get like so much money for your pension or whatever. They get like nothing because they're, like Justin said, independent contractors for the most part, and they don't get paid great salaries. So they're just like everybody else who are trying to survive, and this helps them out. So
especially the ones that have been around for a while and that are getting up there in age, things like that. They even had it even rougher, when they were in the prime of their working. So
because no one knew what comic books were going to be back then. So they
They're
it
just
was a
getting
different mindset.
pennies per page,
Yeah,
pennies
oh
per
yeah,
page.
exactly. Some of them got taken care of though. Like I would say the Seagulls and the Schusters, they did get taken care of by DC. They did they did put them on medical insurance and all like that. Like the wife, I forget, it was Siegel's wife or Schuster's wife, was on like a lifetime health benefits. Like she got like
Wow.
until the day she passed away, she was on their medical coverage or something like that. So I mean, some of them got good health care and stuff like that, but not all of them are that lucky or that big to where they get that notification where the companies have to give them it to not be the monster, the big corporate monsters.
Right.
So yeah, but yeah, a lot of them needed that. I think another famous, I can't think of who it was. Another famous um artist, I think it was on there. Had it used it. I think they were like going blind or something like that. I forget who it was. It's a couple of years ago. But yeah, it's a great cause, and that's on Strictly Comics. I was about to say the other one again. But yeah, Strictly Comics. So go check that out, and it starts November, and then December's the charity one, right?
Right. Right.
And I'm gonna put links to them on the Comic Fanatic website, so you'll find them there, and there will be a link to both of those videos in the description below shortly after this goes post live.
Thank you.
So I forgot to add them on here. I added your links, but I forgot to add those two. I was going to do it, and I forgot.
Okay.
And for me, pretty much, I'm going to try to get to Titans episode 8 this week. I didn't do 7 last week because it was just a crazy week. More stuff over in the Comic Fanatic. Tomorrow is Comic Fanatic Live. Tevi is going to be my co-host for that. So tune in for that, 10:30 tomorrow night. 10:30 Eastern time tomorrow night. And I got I got Power Rangers Lightning Collection figures to review. I am going to get them up sometime soon. I promise. I had people PMing me if I was going to do those reviews, and I said I will. So I'm going to get them up sometime soonish. I got
Nice.
Wave 2. Yeah, I got Wave 2 I have to do, which is Bunny Morphin Pink, Lost Galaxy, Magnet Defender, let's see, what were the other two? Beast Morpher Red, Beast Morpher Gold. I got Lost Galaxy, Red, and in Space Psycho, Psycho Blue. I'm looking over there to see who they are because I got the boxes over there. But yeah, and Goldar, I think I still have to do. So yeah, I got a lot of them coming up. So and I'll be doing the Power Ranger reviews too soon. I'll finish them up. When I got sick, I like pushed them all to the side. So
Oh yeah, as you do.
yeah. So that's it, and we'll probably come back on here, but when Picard comes out, that'll probably be the next one, so we can talk some Picard because I have a feeling like especially I think Jesse will probably come on for that one too because that one would be a big one.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll have to talk like real soon, right after that first episode hits.
Oh yeah, because that's gonna be a big one. I know we're all gonna be excited about that. So yeah, thanks for anybody who's catching this post live. Leave comments in the leave a comment in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Wait, I gotta get into frame.
Yeah. Put
It's
it
hard
in
to get in
front of the
frame.
camera.
Oh, all right. I'm ending it now. It's hard to get into